This month, my studio has seen less of me as my dear grandmother's visit has been a welcome distraction. Still, I've stolen moments to paint my Magical White Yak, sketch Anti-Valentine's Day mischief, and illustrate nutmeg for my spice jar project. Throughout the month, I explored why most of my life is digital, but my art remains traditional, a quiet refuge from the hum of technology. I once worked digitally, but it wasn't the right space for my art to flourish. I will talk about why I embrace traditional art throughout this vlog. Let me take you on a journey of my art through this month. To start off the month, Jacob and I went shopping on one of the hottest days yet. I also brought my little Moodang plushie along. After a long day out, it was time to relax to some video games. I did a little sketch during my turn breaks. This little skeleton popped into creation. With the sunlight shining through my bathroom window, I knew it was going to be a marvelous day. Today, Eeyore came along for a ride. We were overcome by a spontaneous whim to visit an antique store. The inside was full of old things, worn with stories and memories. Why is it that we value old things so much more over what we can buy today? I wonder, is it because they come from a time where everything was made with passion, detail, and care? Or is it simple nostalgia? A lot of our modern life has become so fast-paced, chasing quick completion rather than fulfillment. I believe a lot of this has to do with how we use technology. I don't think technology is a bad thing, but I think it's important for us to analyze how we use it and allow it to influence our creative process. Seeing all these old collectibles made me so happy. It felt like everything was made to look beautiful and bring joy. I saw so many cute tiny decorations. Look at all these tiny animals. This puppy could ask me for anything. They had a whole collection of Beatrix Potter porcelain sculptures. I found a couple little creatures to take home today. This mischievous little girl caught my eye and heart at the same time. Of course I had to check the plushie section. I found this adorable one-eyed teddy bear. Back home we went. Little Teddy enjoyed looking out the window. When I got home, I found a spot for each of my new creatures. I knew this mischievous little girl would sweep her heart out in my kitchen. She looks right at home. I found some friends for Teddy in my studio's mystery cabinet. What a joy to give a home to pre-loved toys. After spending yesterday filling my imagination at the antique store, I wanted to pour energy into something detailed. I decided it was time for oil painting. Good morning, got little Zazu with me here in the studio today. We're just about to get some work done on my Magical White Yak oil painting. I'm so excited. Hey Zazu, are you going to help me out? Are you going to help me paint today? We're going to get lots done, right? Yeah! Traditional art has such a magical essence about it. It relaxes the mind and pulls you away to another dimension. Oil painting requires a disciplined patience, but it's so worth it. It's a real shame. Unfortunately, my live stream was buffering so bad, it wasn't watchable at all. I'll go and try again tomorrow, but for now, I've just cancelled it and I'm going to work on some other pieces for the rest of the day. Most of my life hums along in the digital world. My task lists, calendars, and project plans all live on glowing screens neatly tucked away in apps that grant me flexibility and access from anywhere. And yet, when it comes to my art, I step away from the pixels and into the realm of paint and paper, where time slows and the world feels quieter. Neil Gaiman once wrote, "You are an analog girl living in a digital world." I feel that deeply. I once worked as a digital artist, but over time, it began to feel like just another task on a screen. I spent so much energy trying to make my digital work look organic, full of the irregularities and textures that I sought from traditional art. It always felt like I was battling the medium to achieve what I wanted, rather than pouring out from my soul. So, I returned to traditional art, where I felt a sense of relaxation and escape from the digital realm. While I still love and admire digital art, I feel like I found my home as a traditional artist. I recognize the benefits of digital tools, the ease of undoing a mistake, the ability to move elements with a simple click, but they come with distractions. When I paint traditionally, there are no alerts or blinking icons, no quick fix shortcuts. It's the one place I allow myself the pleasure of slowness, of imperfection, of letting the process unfold in its own time. Art isn't about efficiency or optimization. It isn't meant to be a well-oiled machine. It is about creating something beautiful, something with heart. And if that means spending 2 hours repainting a single section until it feels right, then so be it. I think the reason I transitioned to traditional art despite my whole life functioning digitally is because I wanted a space where I am forced to let go of the worries of optimization. My traditional art requires patience of me. It requires releasing my mind to the creativity. Since I already live such a digital life, I felt like this was what I needed to cultivate a space where I was creating the kind of art I wanted. Do you prefer analog or digital methods in your life? What do you feel works best for you? Let me know. One of the highlights of this month is my grandma coming to visit. I made her this welcome card with her dog Jenny. At the airport, someone had dropped this beautiful rose, so I picked it up to give it to her. I haven't seen my grandma in years, so today was the most special day of the year. I caught a first glimpse of her wheeled out from the airplane. I'm so grateful to get to share this time with her. I've been wanting to try the pomodoro technique to stay focused for some time, but I've always found digital timers to be more distracting than helpful. If you're not familiar with the pomodoro technique, it involves spending 25 minutes of focus time followed by 5-minute increments of breaks. I found these hourglass timers on Amazon and decided to give them a try. They are perfect for what I'm looking for. They look so beautiful and are very simple to use. They come with these little wooden bowls for platforms. love how decorative they look in my studio. I can't wait to try them out. I'm just about to start my live stream for today, and I'm planning to draw a lot more of these little herbs and spices today. It's very exciting. I actually have so many of these herbs and spices to get through. It feels like a never-ending project, but I'm also enjoying always having something to be able to plot along on and work on, so that's awesome. Here's some of the illustrations I finished up last year. The most challenging part of this project is keeping all the sketches consistent. Since they'll all be part of a set, it's important they all have a matching style. I want to tackle the common herbs and spices first, so I decided to add nutmeg to that list. I learned so much about them. I just finished my live stream. We drew these tiny little nutmeg creatures for my herb and spice jar project. I am so excited to finish these. I've already got 13 done at this point. I might do another one tomorrow, we'll see. I'm so excited this morning. I'm about to draw an Anti-Valentine's Day card. I've had this idea in my head for a few years now, so it's about time I put it to paper. It's time to go get little Zazu to join me in the studio. I can hear him all the way from the kitchen. I recently got Zazu this second cage so he can be closer to us when we're making food. He's been really happy chilling out in here. It's also helpful when he's being too loud for my live streams and recording sessions. Most of all, I prefer having him in the studio with me all day. This is where I keep his biggest cage and most of his toys. Have you ever met someone so allergic to love that even a Valentine's card might send them into hives? This particular young lady has sworn off romance entirely. Once stung, forever changed, she now keeps a pincushion, not for sewing, but for tormenting the memories of her ex-lovers. A little prick here, a little jab there. Oh, how delightfully petty. What's your favourite way to channel heartache into something creative? Today, Bert the plush hippo joined me for a piercing appointment. I went to my favourite piercing parlour, Happy Stabber. I wanted to get my Daith and Rook done. I've always loved the interior decor of this space. Jacob and I decided to spoil ourselves with some bowl buns while we were there. We spotted this tiny fairy door while walking about. There are quite a few of these scattered around the city. I suppose many fairies are moving in. Jacob took me to this awesome comic book store. It had a special section supporting local artists. I found this cute little book by Makoto Koji. I decided to follow her on Instagram. I was so drawn to the design of this book of Anya's ghost. The bluish grayscale tone gives it an eerie feel. After our trip at the comic book store, we visited the State Library. One of the rooms was kept like the old library it used to be. I wish I had a room like this in my house. One of the rooms was exhibiting old radios. We were also lucky enough to see an art exhibition while we were there. This pastel art was my favourite. After a lovely weekend, I slipped back into the studio today. This place is always so peaceful. It gives me a fresh reset every time I step in here. All my brushes were waiting patiently for me. It's been a while since I worked on my oil painting, so I decided today I am going to work on my Magical White Yak and see what progress we can make. As I've been reflecting on the purpose of traditional art, it's important to recognise its place in the art world. Since I come from roots of being a digital artist, I still admire and value digital artists equally. Digital art is where I learned to spread my wings, and it gave me a risk-free, less expensive platform to practice and make mistakes. I think for many artists, digital art is a fantastic medium to creating. For me, the reasons I transitioned into traditional art were more personal than practical. I work as a graphic designer, so I already spend most of my time on a computer. Traditional art is an incredible release from this mindset. It helped me escape the constant drain of technology. At first, the messy and unpredictable nature of traditional mediums were a struggle to overcome. But soon, this became the best asset traditional art had to offer. I loved how free and expressive it felt. I'm so happy with my progress today. I changed the colour on the girl's face, I added so much more detail to both her hair and fur. I'm really happy. Today was actually such a relaxing live stream. It was a very calm vibe, and we had very interesting conversations throughout the day. I feel like when I chat while I work, it really helps me trudge along with the little minute details I have in my paintings. This afternoon, I went to the beach with my mum and grandma. The ocean breeze smelled so fresh. It's quite a warm day here in the studio. I'm feeling in the mood to create a new sketch today. Sometimes we just have those moments where we want to bring a new character to life. I hope you'll enjoy joining along and watching my character come to life today. Sketching is my favourite way to unwind and create. It's such a simple relationship between pencil and artist. I just finished my live stream. I ended up drawing a girl with a heart puppet. I feel like it was very fitting for this month given we had Valentine's Day last week. I wanted to spend some more time rendering it up, so I will finish it on Monday. The weekend is over and I'm back in the studio. I'm excited to work on my heart puppet sketch again. I'm really enjoying the process and I'm hoping to finish it today. Fingers crossed. Building up detail in my sketches is a slow process that you cannot rush. But if you let it go, you end up with a beautifully rendered character. I just finished my live stream and we finished off this little girl and her heart puppet. I really enjoyed working on this one and I think I'm planning to create it into an oil painting soon. Thank you all for joining me on my creative journey. If you'd like to support me, please check out my store, subscribe to my Twitch channel, or pledge to me on Patreon. I want to thank my patrons for sponsoring this video and allowing me time to spend on creative projects like these. I hope I've inspired you to think about why you make art and pursue it even more. Let me know what is your favourite medium to create in and why.